When you think about homelessness, your mind probably jumps to shelter and food. But there's a whole category of basic human needs that nobody discusses in polite conversation. Yet homeless individuals navigate every single day with remarkable ingenuity. These are the needs that most of us take for granted, needs that have become so automatic in our lives that we barely register them. Using a bathroom, managing personal hygiene, dealing with menstruation, handling dental problems, managing medication, taking a shower, these fundamental human functions become complex logistical challenges when you don't have a home. The conversation around homelessness often focuses on the big picture solutions, building more shelters, increasing social services, or addressing the root causes of housing insecurity. These conversations matter, absolutely, but they often overlook the daily reality that homeless individuals have become experts in solving problems that most of us never have to think about twice. During my years volunteering with various homeless outreach programs, I discovered that the solutions homeless communities develop aren't just survival hacks. They're sophisticated systems of knowledge, community support, and scientific understanding. When you strip away the shame and stigma that surrounds these topics, what emerges is a portrait of human resilience that deserves recognition and respect. Finding a bathroom when you're homeless is like trying to solve a complex puzzle with missing pieces. It's not simply about the biological need, it's about dignity, health, safety, and the ability to function in society. A woman named Sarah, who spent for years homeless in Portland, once told me that her entire day revolves around bathroom access. Before I plan anything else, she explained, I've already mentally mapped out which businesses will let me use their restrooms, what time they're most lenient, and which ones have started locking their doors. The statistics are sobering. A recent study found that public bathroom availability in major American cities has decreased by 45% over the last decade. For homeless individuals, especially women during their menstrual cycle, this isn't just an inconvenience, it's a crisis that affects health, employment prospects, and basic dignity. When Sarah needs to change her clothes, wash her hands, or attend to personal hygiene, she can't simply walk into a bathroom. She has to execute a carefully choreographed plan developed through months or years of trial and error. The McDonald's morning rush has become an unofficial gathering time for homeless women seeking bathroom access. Between 6 and 7 a.m., when the breakfast crowd starts flowing in, women can usually slip into restrooms without drawing attention. The early morning staff are typically too busy to care, and the morning momentum provides natural cover. One woman I met had created an entire morning routine built around this window. She positioned herself to enter as a group of customers walked in, making it appear she was part of their party. She developed this technique so smoothly that nobody ever questioned her presence. Coffee shops present a different challenge and opportunity. A $2 coffee purchase, usually the cheapest item, the menu buys bathroom access for at least an hour. Some homeless individuals have calculated this down to the exact minute. I time my coffee visit for 90 minutes if I'm strategic about it, explained Marcus, a formerly homeless veteran who now works part-time. You buy the coffee, use the bathroom, sit and read, or use their Wi-Fi, then you've got legitimate reason to be there. $2 becomes your ticket to dignity and a place to sit. Libraries have emerged as unexpected heroes in this crisis. They're warm, they're free, and most importantly, they rarely question someone who appears to be reading or using the computers. A librarian at a downtown branch once told me that she noticed certain homeless individuals would check out books they had no intention of reading, using the book as a prop to justify their presence. The irony isn't lost on anyone. People are using the pretense of borrowing books to access a basic human need, which they shouldn't have to hide. Department stores present their own specific challenges. Higher-end stores like Nordstrom or Target have nicer, cleaner bathrooms, but accessing them requires strategy. Some homeless women keep a shopping bag from these stores in their possession specifically to establish a false identity as a customer. I walk in carrying the bag like I'm returning something, one woman shared. By the time store staff figure out I'm not actually a customer, I've already used the bathroom and changed my clothes. It's a system that works maybe 80% of the time. Gas stations operate under different rules. The staff is often more lenient about bathroom access, particularly during late-night hours. However, this convenience comes with significant safety concerns. A homeless woman using a gas station bathroom late at night faces potential danger that she might not face during business hours at a coffee shop. The calculus becomes convenience versus safety, and safety should always win. Train stations and airports used to be reliable options, but many have started charging for bathroom access. Some stations now require a ticket to use facilities, which effectively locks out homeless individuals. One man I met had started saving quarters specifically for bathroom access. "I call it my bathroom fund," he explained. "Every quarter I find goes into this cup. Sometimes I have to choose between using it for the bathroom or the laundromat. Both are kind of essential when you're on the streets." The real genius comes from those who've developed comprehensive bathroom maps of their cities. These aren't official documents, they exist in memory and occasionally in rough drawings. They include notes about which managers are more understanding, which bathrooms have the best soap dispensers, which ones have paper towels versus air dryers, and which locations have started implementing stricter policies. This information is shared through informal networks, passed along person to person like precious trade secrets. Hotel lobbies represent the holy grail of bathroom access. They're clean, private, usually have multiple stalls. Showering without a shower, the water problem if bathroom access is complicated. Actually bathing when homeless presents an entirely different set of challenges. Most of us shower daily without thinking about a turn on the water. Step in, wash, done. But for homeless individuals, showering requires finding the right location, the right time, and often involves a level of vulnerability that most people never have to consider. Public beaches and rivers provide one option during warmer months, though this solution comes with its own complications. Using a public beach for bathing often requires accessing a changing room or at least some place to store your belongings. Rivers and natural water sources lack privacy and present safety concerns. A man named David told me he used to bathe in a river near where he slept, but he could never truly relax because he was worried about someone stealing his belongings. "You can't fully clean yourself when you're tense," he explained. "You have to keep one eye on your stuff the whole time." Public swimming pools in some cities offer low-cost or free admission to homeless individuals, but this requires knowledge about these policies and the ability to get to the pool during operating hours. It also requires having a bathing suit, which isn't always available to someone living on the streets. One homeless youth I spoke with mentioned that she started using the pool primarily for bathing rather than swimming because it provided the most consistent access to hot water and privacy. Community centers and gyms sometimes offer shower facilities as part of their services or through partnerships with homeless outreach organizations. A nonprofit in my city had partnered with a local gym to provide free shower access to homeless individuals during specific hours. The program was invaluable, but it could only accommodate a limited number of people. The wait list was sometimes weeks long. Some homeless shelters provide shower access, but not all of them, and many shelter systems are overloaded. A woman named Lisa explained that even when shelters offered showers, the experience was often rushed and public. "You get maybe 15 minutes, and there's no guarantee of privacy," she said. "It's not exactly a relaxing bath, but it's better than nothing." Fire departments in some progressive cities have allowed homeless individuals to use their facilities for bathing. The arrangement is informal and varies by station, but firefighters often recognize that a clean person has a much better chance of finding employment or avoiding health problems. Some stations have even created dedicated shower hours for homeless community members. This represents a creative solution where institutions recognize that meeting basic hygiene needs serves everyone's interests. Wet wipes and baby wipes have become an important interim solution for many homeless individuals. They're not a replacement for a full shower, but they allow for basic washing when other options aren't available. A homeless man named Jerome told me that he carried baby wipes everywhere. It's not a shower, but at least I can clean my face, my hands between my toes, he explained. Keeps me from feeling completely filthy. Laundromats present another opportunity that many people overlook. Beyond washing clothes, some homeless individuals use laundromat sinks to bathe parts of their body. They'll wash their upper body in the sink, dry off with paper towels and hand dryers, and then use the bathroom for other needs. It's not ideal, but it's functional. The challenge is that laundromats are often cold, bright, and full of other people. There's no real privacy, and staff might eventually ask you to leave if you're clearly bathing rather than washing clothes. Some resourceful homeless individuals have created makeshift washing setups using collected materials. A garden hose connected to an outdoor spigot, a private area behind buildings, and time during early morning hours can create an opportunity for basic washing. One man I met had found a hidden courtyard behind an office building where a hose was available. He developed an entire routine of bathing there during the hours when the building was closed. He was eventually discovered and asked to stop, but for several months, it provided him with consistent access to water for bathing. Dental care, a nightmare without address or insurance. Dental problems represent one of the most painful and complicated health issues facing homeless individuals. Tooth decay, infections, and other dental emergencies can be debilitating, yet accessing dental care without an address or insurance is nearly impossible. Most dental offices require an address for their records, and emergency dental services are prohibitively expensive for anyone without money. A dentist I spoke with mentioned that homeless patients rarely come to her office. It's not because they don't want dental care, she explained. It's because the barriers to access are so high. They need an address, they need insurance, or the ability to pay. They need to be able to schedule an appointment and show up at a specific time. For someone living on the streets, any one of those requirements can be a deal breaker. Some free dental clinics exist in major cities, but they're chronically underfunded and overwhelmed. The waiting list for free dental services can be months long. In the meantime, homeless individuals suffer with tooth pain that affects their ability to eat properly, sleep, work, and maintain their dignity. A woman named Jennifer told me that an untreated tooth infection had gotten so severe that she deconsidered extracting the tooth herself. I've heard that other people have done it, she said quietly. I was desperate enough that I was actually considering it. Antibiotics can help with some dental infections, but getting antibiotics without seeing a dentist is difficult. Some homeless individuals have learned to identify which hospitals or urgent care centers will provide antibiotics for suspected dental infections without demanding full payment upfront. Others have developed relationships with sympathetic doctors who understand the reality of homelessness and will provide basic treatment without full payment. Preventative dental care is essentially non-existent for most homeless people. Regular brushing and flossing require consistent access to a toothbrush and toothpaste. Many homeless individuals do have toothbrushes, often provided by shelters or outreach organizations, but maintaining a consistent dental hygiene routine while living on the streets is challenging. Where do you brush your teeth? In a public bathroom, a shelter? The challenge compounds when you don't have consistent access to the same location every night. Tooth extraction, which should be a last resort, has become a more common solution among some homeless populations than it should be. The logic is brutal but understandable. A painful tooth that can't be treated creates constant suffering, while an extracted tooth is painful temporarily and then resolves the problem. Some homeless individuals have learned to perform tooth extractions on each other or have traveled to locations where dental extraction services are available without insurance. The cosmetic consequence of poor dental health further compounds homelessness. People with severe tooth decay or missing teeth face discrimination in employment and social situations. Employers are less likely to hire someone with visible dental problems, making it harder for homeless individuals to transition out of homelessness. My teeth are one of the biggest barriers to getting a job, a formerly homeless woman named Karen told me. I know it's not fair, but I've been passed over for positions because of the condition of my teeth. Some progressive nonprofits have started mobile dental clinics specifically to serve homeless populations. These clinics bring dental services to shelters and soup kitchens rather than requiring homeless individuals to navigate the traditional healthcare system. The impact has been significant, though these programs remain underfunded and available in only some cities. Managing medication without a pharmacy address for homeless individuals with chronic health conditions, diabetes, hypertension, mental health disorders. Managing medication is a complex puzzle. Pharmacies typically require an address to fill prescriptions. They also require consistent refill schedules, which assumes stable housing and access to the same pharmacy. Homeless individuals often can't meet these requirements. A man named Marcus, who is homeless and diabetic, explained his medication strategy to me. I get my prescriptions filled at an emergency room when my insulin runs out, he said. It's not ideal because emergency rooms are expensive and there's a wait, but it's the only reliable way I can get my medication. This approach leads to reactive healthcare instead of preventative healthcare. Problems only get addressed when they reach crisis level, which is more expensive and more dangerous. Medication storage presents its own challenge. Many medications need to be kept at specific temperatures. Insulin must be refrigerated. Medications can't be left in the sun. For someone living on the streets or in a car, maintaining proper medication storage is nearly impossible. Some homeless individuals have developed relationships with healthcare providers who understand their situation and will provide medications in smaller quantities that can be managed without proper storage, even though this isn't ideal. Mental health medications are particularly complicated. Many homeless individuals struggle with mental health conditions like depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, and schizophrenia. Antipsychotic medications, mood stabilizers, and antidepressants are crucial for managing these conditions, but they require consistent access and monitoring. Missing doses or taking inconsistent doses can lead to mental health crises. A mental health counselor working with homeless populations told me that medication compliance is one of her biggest challenges. People want to stay on their medications, but the system makes it incredibly hard, she explained. Some outreach programs have started providing medication management services specifically for homeless populations. A caseworker will maintain a supply of medications for their clients and distribute them according to schedule. This approach has proven effective, but again, it requires dedicated funding and staff resources that are often unavailable. Menstrual health, the invisible crisis for homeless women. Menstruation adds another layer of complexity to an already challenging situation. The need for menstrual products, the need for regular bathroom access, the need to change clothes discreetly, the need for pain management, these combine to create a monthly crisis that affects employment, health, and dignity. A woman named Maya described her monthly cycle as the worst week of homelessness. Without access to menstrual products, she developed an elaborate system of improvisation. I use whatever I can find, she explained. Toilet paper folded a certain way, cloth that I can wash, newspaper if I have to. It's not clean, it's not comfortable, but it's what I have to do. The statistics are brutal. Studies show that nearly 60% of homeless women have to choose between buying food and buying menstrual products. Many choose food, which means going without menstrual products. This leads to health problems, including infections, anemia from extended bleeding, and emotional distress. It also severely limits where homeless women can go and what they can do. Many jobs aren't accessible. You can't manage your period adequately, trapping women in homelessness. Menstrual cups and cloth pads represent potential solutions, but they come with their own challenges. A cup costs around $30, and cloth pads need to be washed regularly. For someone without access to running water or laundry facilities, maintenance is difficult. Still, some nonprofits have started distributing reusable menstrual products to homeless women, and the impact has been significant. Pain management during periods is another complicated issue. Over-the-counter painkillers like ibuprofen or acetaminophen cost money. Some homeless women have learned to find free pain relievers through community health centers or emergency rooms, but this requires knowing where to go and being able to get there. Others rely on heat trapping a hot water bottle against their abdomen or pressure point techniques they've learned from other women. The emotional component shouldn't be overlooked. Many homeless women experience shame and embarrassment about their periods, which compounds the physical challenges. A counselor I spoke with noted that some homeless women would isolate themselves during their periods because they felt dirty or couldn't access adequate facilities to maintain hygiene. This isolation can lead to depression and further disconnection from support services. The invisible network of knowledge and support what emerges from conversations with homeless individuals about these basic needs is a sophisticated network of shared knowledge and mutual support. When someone discovers a bathroom that's consistently available, they tell others. When someone learns a technique for managing a health issue, they share it. When someone finds a free resource, that information travels through the community. This isn't documented. There are no official guides, no published maps, no formal system. It's knowledge passed person to person, refined through experience, and adjusted based on seasonal changes and policy shifts. A homeless man named Robert told me that he learned more about city geography and resource access from other homeless people than he ever learned living housed. There's almost a science to it, he explained. People have figured out the patterns, the best times, the most reliable places. It's like having access to hidden knowledge. The compassion within these communities is also remarkable. Someone who is struggling with a health issue will receive advice from multiple people who've faced similar challenges. Someone new to homelessness will be taken under the wing of experienced homeless individuals who teach them the systems, the resources, the survival strategies. It is not perfect. There are conflicts and people who take advantage of others, but the overall pattern is one of mutual support among people facing shared challenges. Why this matters: understanding how homeless individuals navigate these basic human needs isn't just academic, it has real policy implications. When we recognize that homelessness affects access to bathrooms, showers, dental care, medication, and menstrual health, we start seeing homelessness not just as a housing problem, but as a comprehensive health and dignity crisis. Solutions need to address not just shelter, but also access to basic facilities and services. It matters because homeless individuals deserve dignity. The elaborate systems they've created to manage basic human needs are testament to their resourcefulness, but they're also evidence of a fundamental failure of society to ensure basic dignity for all people. A person shouldn't have to map out bathroom locations or improvise menstrual products or suffer with untreated tooth infections. These are problems that could be solved with resources and political will. The solutions don't necessarily require building more shelter, though that would help. They require recognizing that basic facilities, public bathrooms, shower access, dental care, medication management, menstrual product availability are essential infrastructure for a functioning society. When these services are provided, homeless individuals have a much better chance of maintaining health, accessing employment, and transitioning out of homelessness. What homeless individuals have taught me through their ingenuity and resilience is that humans can adapt to almost anything. But adaptation to crisis doesn't mean the crisis is acceptable. It means someone is suffering in ways that could be prevented. The next time you pass someone experiencing homelessness, remember that they are navigating challenges you probably never have to think about, challenges that most of us take for granted. And remember that their solutions, no matter how creative, are not a substitute for the basic human infrastructure that everyone deserves.